Let's start. Go into a child's pose. It will be brief. Yeah, slide the arms back or forward. You could pick. It's also sometimes nice to have the hands resting at the base of the feet. Yeah. You know when you're getting a landline call that it's nobody important. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, just connect here. Your arms are back, they're sideways, they're forward, they're up in space, however you want to be, just connect here and just drop down. Take a huge breath in through the nose and then side out. And then seal your lips and just begin your breath that works for you this morning, Ujjayi breathing. If the arms are back, slide them forward, anchor through your hands. And then press up onto all fours, curl the toes into the mat, just like this. Yeah. Sink the spine down and look forward. Exhale, round the spine deeply and look in. Try it again. Inhale, sinking the spine down and looking forward. Exhale, round the spine deeply, look in. One more. Inhale, sinking the spine down and looking forward. Connect. Exhale, round and look in. Come to flat back tabletop position. Extend your right leg straight back in space and just pause. Sometimes just doing this, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a long class, right? So just lift the right leg up like you're in a warrior 3. Do nothing but that. And just breathe. Breathe a lot of energy and a lot of space through the sole of your back right foot. Make sure there's an inner spiral of your thigh down so nothing is open. Yeah. And then extend your left arm if you can, forward. Yeah. And then just play with the balance here. Sometimes it gets a little funky just being like this, but like you're shaking hands with someone so the palm is facing open towards the side mat. And just reach and stretch in opposite directions. Find a lot of elongation in the body, nice neutral neck, drawing in of the outer ribs and the belly pulling to the back of the spine. Reach the left arm back, bend at the right knee crease, pause. This may be where you pause and stop today, so don't force your body. If you're able to grab your ankle, good for you. If not, just be kind of in space. Kick up and back, steer the chest forward. The neck stays nice and neutral. So it's not a lot of movement, ladies. Just fire up that right thigh and you may feel like you're not moving at all. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Yes. Hand comes down, knee drops, tabletop. Just float the left leg up in space. Just pause and just do that much. The second your leg lifts, it's nature that the hip wants to open. So just steer the left thigh down and just breathe. Feel like you're leading a little with your chest so there's no collapsing. A strong flex of the foot. And then in your own time, extend your right arm forward. The right arm drifts forward towards the front skinny edge of the mat. And you just reach and stretch in opposite directions. There's a plugging down, a lift of your lower belly, a firing up of your outer left tricep. And then reach the right arm back, pause, do everything in steps, bend at the knee crease. This may be where you stop. Grab your outer ankle or inner ankle, kick up and back. Steer the ribs, the chest forward, activate the left thigh, continuously gripping the right hip under you and in, and the left palm firm to the mat. Reach and stretch the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Find that extra space. Hand and knee come to the floor. Walk the hands out a little inch in front of you, curl the toes, lift the hips, dog. And as you arrive to this first down dog, you may need to bend behind your knees significantly this morning. Yeah. So the hips lift really high. The knees bend as much as they need so you can really access the pose. Let your head just drop. And then plug down your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. And then in time, the back side of the body starts to lengthen and open. So maybe the center of the heel drifts a little closer towards the mat. Maybe that's something in the future. So just spread the toes wide and just begin your activation of the back side of the body. Let the head just drop. breathe. Good. Roll forward to plank. So in the first dog to plank, sometimes there needs to be a little adjustment, right? So just walk it out a tiny bit and then find the stacking of your body, your shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, the outer sides of your body kind of hug in. And if you get here and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel great this morning, drop your knees and just give yourself a little extra support. Yeah. So you just want to line it up here. And then look forward to the front edge of the mat. Drop your knees if you need support. Lower halfway to a push-up. And it could be a little like micro bend. The knees can support the movement. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog and only lifted hip height like you did in that tabletop position. Firm the outer left hip in. Yeah, feel your outer triceps grip in so nothing's opening. Look forward with your eyes and use the momentum of the lifted leg to just swing the right foot all the way forward and through. And as the right foot drops all the way, kind of slides all the way forward and through, drop the knee down, keep the toes curled, and rise to a supported lunge. And just feel the length of the back side of the body. That back left thigh, that psoas. Look up a little with your eyes. Actually, if you want this morning, interlace your hands and press to the arches of the hands towards the sky. And kind of wiggle the ribs up towards the ceiling, keeping everything nice and neutral. So you don't want to dump into your lower back ever. Split the hands apart, take the hands down to the ground, activate your back left leg. So now you're just in a low lunge. Come to your fingertips, be here a few breaths. So just be in this low runner's lunge. You can place blocks underneath your hands if the floor feels simply far away. Lead a little with your chest, almost creating a little bit of an up dog. Plug down with your right heel, feel your outer right hip rip in, and activate the left leg super strong. Plant the palms down and slide back to plank. Solid plank position. Halfway to a push-up chaturanga, you're welcome to drop your knees. I'll show the supported version. I'm just lowering a little this morning into a micro push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Use your arm strength, your core strength, hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Breathe your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. So less is more, no flailing of the body parts. Grip the hips in, spark up the toes, and feel your outer triceps hug in. Look forward with your eyes. Use the momentum to step your left foot all the way forward and through. Drop the knee at an angle, keep the toes curled, and then rise on your breath, your movement, supported lunge. Always check in with the alignment, left knee, left ankle, set it up. Back thigh has a little bit of an angle so you can get that psoas to release. For some reason, it doesn't feel good, you just pull out of it a little. Interlace the hands, flip the insteps of the palms open, and then kind of wiggle up out of your waist a little and see if you can create a little bit more depth. Look up with your eyes, keep your neck nice and neutral, just breathe here. Keep the lift, just split the hands apart. Reach them high towards the sky. Fingertips to the ground. Activate your back leg. So charge up that knee and just pause here. Feel like you're creating a little up dog with your chest. Yeah. Grip your left hip under. Get heavy in that standing left heel and activate the muscles of your back right leg. Charge up the breath. Stay with it. Hands come down, slide back to plank. Halfway to a push-up, you're welcome to drop your knees. Halfway to that push-up. Re-straighten your arms to plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, do it again. Just find some kind of ease with this. Guide your right foot all the way forward and through. Yeah, this time keep the back leg lifted, unless for some reason something's going on, it feels better with the knee down. Tent the left fingertips or slide a block and peel open, easy twist. So easy twist right here. Yeah, just a few breaths. The block under definitely feels good because the block underneath your hand, because it brings the floor up. Yeah. Watch that your right hip knee thing doesn't wing out. So you want to keep gripping it under. And twist only as much as you feel like you can twist without going into your low back. Look to the floor, place both hands down, pause. Take your back left leg on an angle and then straighten your right leg and grab anywhere on the front of your right shin for triangle pose. Early on here, utilize a block to the outside of your calf if you think that you need it. Yeah, any sort of lift. I like pulling up on the front of the shin. If lower back feels ultra sensitive this morning, just come up really high like I'm demonstrating here and just really support the pose this way. Side ribs nice and long. There's a sensation that you're leaning back a little, but you really want to fire up the inner and the outer arches, the base of your feet, the inner and outer thigh, and then use your obliques to support the pose. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Top arm's going to pull you up. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Pivot the left, the right toes in. Bring your hands to your hips for a second. You can clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale the breath, bend your knees, go down the center, let the head go. Drop the clasped hands. If this is aggravating to the shoulders or the neck, the hands just simply drop in between the 2 feet and you just fold. The idea is here to drop your head down below your heart, lift your hips up off your heels and fold into yourself. Come to the fingertips long, spine don't come up, just creep towards the left foot. You're gonna pivot around, so you're in a low lunge facing the back of the mat. Just step to a dog facing the back of the mat, okay? When you arrive in dog, you're now facing back edge of mat. Left leg reads up nice and high, hip height, grip your right hip in. Guide your left foot forward and through back into that low lunge. Tent the right fingertips and peel the left arm into your version of easy twist. If you need to back out, drop your knee. Grip the left hip underneath you. Utilize a block if you feel like you're dumping into your shoulder. Look sideways, look up. Broaden the chest, open up the collarbone. Eyes meet the floor, left hand comes down. Keeping the left foot where it is, turn the back right foot on a strong angle and then pull up into triangle on the left side, the right arm stacks. Utilize your block if you think you're dumping down. Anywhere on the front of that left shin. Breath is flowing through your body. There's a sensation of leaning back, but you're really being mindful not to dump into your low back. Stay with it. Top arm pulls you up. Arms are straight, legs are straight. One more time, pivot the left toes in. Interlace your hands, opposite grip, eyes of the shoulders pull in and up, and then bend forward and fold down the center. Let the head go. Once again, if the clasped hands don't feel like it's for you today, let the hands drop down between the 2 feet and just fold that way. Let the head go. Shift the weight forward into the balls of your feet. Breathe your hips way up. It's okay to get quiet with yourself and just feel. Release the clasped hands, come to the fingertips, pause, long spine, walk your hands to the right foot, creep around, you're in a low lunge, pause right here, plant the palms, step to a plank. So you're at plank facing the front edge of the mat. I like moving around like this because it gets you out of your own way. Halfway to a push-up, chaturanga, pausing your push-up. Re-straighten your arms to plank, hips up and back, down dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. So it should start to feel a little easier just doing simple things like lifting the leg. Let the momentum and swing your right foot forward and through low lunge. Turn the back foot on a strong angle and rise warrior one. So now just making it feel like a lot more effective and easy in your body. Left rib spin forward. Know that you can back out, little pitch forward with your torso, straight up and down with your body if you feel good. Another big breath in. Hands frame your front foot, plank position. Get to this plank, halfway to your push-up. Pause. Straighten your arms to plank position, hips up and back, down dog. One more time, breathe your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog, pause here. Let the momentum carry that left foot forward and through, be in a low lunge for a second. Grip the left hip under you. Turn the back foot on a strong angle and then rise. Once you get grounded and stable, warrior one. Strong press of the blade of your right foot. Breath is flowing. Right rib steer forward. Eyes look up a little. Hands to frame your front foot. Plank position. Halfway to a push-up chaturanga pause. Up dog or cobra, you pick what feels best in your body this morning. Press through your hands, the tops of the feet, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. Just collecting yourself for a moment, breathing into this down dog, stay here. Notice if your mind is kind of skipping all over the place. Good, look where you want to go, step or float to the top of the mat. Nice long spine. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit deep into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Heavy in your heels. Yeah, heavy in your heels. Go into chair pose, stick your butt way back. Press up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, just stand for a second. So separate your feet a little bit here, just like 2 inches apart, just to find some stability. Stand on your right leg and bend your left leg up into tree pose here. You can keep your hand on the inside, or you can gather your hands to prayer. I'll actually pivot towards you so you could see it's a little easier. Anywhere on the inside of that leg, and then grow the branches of the tree. Yeah. Arms can sweep out, they can come up, they can be a prayer, anything goes. Hug the outer hips in, and then you really want to just kind of play with being playful, right? So if you start to wobble, you feel unstable, that is the point. Keep the arms up, okay, if you can. Swing the left leg forward so it's a 90-degree angle. Flex the foot really, really strong, okay? Take your right hand to the outside of that left thigh and peel your left arm back. If you're feeling ambitious this morning and you feel like you've got the hamstring flexibility, you can go early here and kick the leg forward and through, go for it. So the standing right leg is the power leg, nice and upright. The left arm is peeling open and back, and the leg that's moving forward can have as much bend as it needs. So you can access the pose. So bent standing left leg, 90-degree angle is a solid place to be. So playing with the balance early here in the practice, it's not meant to be perfect ever. Stand up tall. Keep the lift of the left leg. Don't let it drop, guys. Pull around to center. Your arms move straight up towards the sky, like you're holding a block over the top of the head. The left thigh is going to drop right next to the right, and you're going to kick your left heel. You're going to flex it strong towards the left butt cheek. Drop the arms down, and you're going to try and gather your hands around the base of your left ankle with one, both hands, no hands, just creating the shape, soft bend of the right thigh, and you just tip forward a little here into a little bound. Warrior three, eyes of the shoulders move up and back. If getting hold of the ankle is not in the cards, just create the shape so you don't actually have to grab the foot. Grip the right hip in super strong and breathe into the whole front side of the body as you kick a little bit more energy up and back. Pull up to center, relax the left foot down, stand tall. So it may have worked out wonderfully. It could have been a hot mess. Stand on the left leg, bend the right leg up and up, tree pose. So you're standing on your left leg, tree, anywhere on the inside of that leg. Hands to prayer, find your balance, get yourself together, and then grow the branches of your tree, however it looks for you today. Eyes can start to work up a little. Little unstable, it's okay. Keep the arms moving up, the lift of the ribs, and swing your right leg forward. Just create a 90-degree angle. Just do this much to start. Then the left hand slides to the outside, anywhere along the outside of the right leg, the right arm peels back. Start with this. If you're like, all right, I feel solid, I want to try extending the leg at some level. Reach down, grab the outer part of the foot, and you kick forward and through. This isn't for everyone. Find something you know you can hold for a few solid breaths. And then as you peel open, you're trying to look sideways, maybe, and look back into that right hand. Just something towards the future that we're working towards. Stand up nice and tall on that standing left leg and breathe. Eyes start to move forward. Arms go up towards the sky. Right leg bends in half. Just pause. Then swing your right leg back so it lines up with that left thigh. Kick the right heel towards the right butt cheek. Drop the arms down and see if you can get one hand, both hands, no hands, and then a little tip forward as you begin to kick up and back. It's a small movement. Eyes of the shoulders move back. Left hip grips in. If you've got your ankle, flex your foot and kick. One more big breath in. Give it a little more love. Pull up to stand, lower the right foot. Sweep the arms straight up towards the sky, look up big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step, step to plank. Halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Drag yourself through a smooth up dog or cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there this morning. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Energize, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms slide straight up, get grounded. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa this morning. So you pick how you feel, how much you want to put out. Backing out, adding more. Meeting in a downward facing dog is always a good option. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top of the mat. Get there nice and light. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Now sit into a chair pose. Weight moves into your heels. Stick your butt way back. Press up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Go big. Sit deep into chair pose. Weight goes heavy in your heels. And decide, like maybe you need space in between your feet this morning. That's fine. Dive over, bent legs, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips and set yourself up. Step or float through your version of a vinyasa. You can just step to dog and breathe there too. Up dogs are optional. Hips up and back, down dog. Guide your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior ones. We did this before. Just go on what the body knows. Hands back down on your breath, your beat through a vinyasa. We're moving a little bit quicker. Right, up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. The left foot lands on your breath, warrior one. Back down we go when you're ready through a vinyasa. Pick what works. Cobra is a great option for a back bend or just skipping it all together. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Deep breath in, full complete breath out. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to land. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit heavy in your heels for chair pose. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. From the top, arms slide straight up towards the sky. Go big. Sit deep into chair. Dive over, bent legs, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. You can just step, then halfway to your push-up. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Solid in that back foot really is helpful. Warrior one. Hands back down on your breath through vinyasa. upward facing, smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. The left foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one. Hands come back down to the floor through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. One more. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine when you arrive. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Press up strongly to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms slide up. Integrate. Sit heavy, chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips. Prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back. Down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. So it's a little bit of a hustle in the warm up today. Hands come down through a vinyasa or take it out. Once you get to your down dog, land your left foot forward, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands come back down to the floor, vinyasa, upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog, pause. Come forward and drag your right knee to the back of your right tricep. Keep the hips aligned, don't open your hip. Yeah, arms are straight up and down. Hug the right knee straight in to the center line. Step the right foot forward and through. Turn the back foot big. Circle open, warrior two. Iron out the position of your feet. Make sure your right foot lines up with your back left arch. There's a nice wrapping open of your right thigh, a lengthening of your tailbone. Breathing of the chest and the collarbone nice and open. And you're stacking yourself up here. Side ribs are long. There's no twist action happening. Close your eyes and breathe 5-6 breaths. Be present and just feel, even if the feeling gets a little icky. Sometimes it gets a little icky when you hold. Soften the shoulders, relax the jawline. Embrace it. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Soft movement always, it's never jerky. You don't jam into your low back. Keep wrapping your inner right thigh open. Come back to warrior two and either rest your arm on the top of the thigh this morning or go right to the outside of that right foot for that A variation. I use a block and you can even place the block on the highest setting this morning, or just know your body. And if right arm to thigh is what's speaking to you and feels the best, then that's the spot for today. Left arm can wrap up and forward if that feels good, or the arm just stays straight up towards the sky. Any way you're picking this, the gripping in of the right hip and the turning of your bottom ribs. And then see if you can settle in and breathe. A lot of good extension from the outer blade of the left foot through the left fingertips. Stay with it, a few more. Left arm extends up, pause. Left hand comes to hip. Look down, half moon. So float forward and in one piece, see if you can set it up. Soften behind the right knee definitely helps. Gripping in of the right hip and making sure your right foot stays forward. And then grow your left arm up if you feel your balance is solid today. Some days the hand has to stay on the hip. Anything you want to add here in this Chopasana that works for you. Balance onto your fingertips, a bind, also known as Chopasana. Staying a little longer though, and if you fall out, just find your way back in. Just try it again, it's okay. Eyes meet the floor, left hand comes down, pause. So you're gonna square your hips off, and when you step your left foot forward, crisscross it over the right ankle. So the left ankle crosses over the right ankle. Baby toes touch. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Good spot to use a block if the floor feels far, and then fold. So as you fold over that leg, both legs, lift the hips, bend behind your knees as much as you need. Going down the center may be like, that may be perfect, but you may also want to drift a little to the left today. And that may give you a little bit more of a stretch along the right side of your body. So you can just play with that, going down the center, and you may have your hands rest on blocks, maybe where it's at. Just keep the bend behind the knees, and that's going to really help. Let the head go and keep shifting your weight forward. If you drifted to the left, come back to center. Find extension, long spine, and just unravel the feet so they're next to one another or hips width distance. Sit into chair. Yeah, sit deep into chair. So if you know you take chair with feet hips width, just separate them hips width, and then sit heavy in your heels. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the right. Yeah, so the left elbow hooks, or you air twist, or your elbow rests on the top of the thigh. Looks good. You're heavy in your heels, and you're getting in there. Open up your arms if you want more. Just be happy with where you're at. One arm can open. You can think about your arms opening. The trick's to just keep breathing. Keep breathing into the whole body as you chair twist. Pull around to center, chair pose. Heavy in your heels, sit all the way down for supported Navasana. The palms go flat or fingertips to the ground or hands slide to blocks. Keep your knees bent, so like keep a 90-degree angle, and think about drawing your stomach towards the front of your thighs and then lifting the eyes of the shoulders. So you're really creating a lot of openness and a lot of space. And the hands resting the floor or blocks is definitely helpful with keeping us out of our low back. And then lower to a level of Ardha Navasana that works for you. That can just be shoulders lifted and legs straight up towards the sky at a 90-degree angle. Or if you can work a little deeper, maybe halfway down. Keep pressing firm into the ground. Eyes of the shoulders lift, lower back spreads, belly draws in, neck is neutral. Look towards the ceiling. Press firm, Navasana, pull it up. Press down, lift to the eyes of the shoulders, draw the belly, the navel in and up. Cross the ankles, step, float, crawl, find your way back. Vinyasa. Meet me in a dog. When you get to down dog, breathe your left leg up, high, three-legged dog. Don't open the hip though. Keep everything nice and neutral. Look forward and sweep your left knee to the back of your left tricep. Arms are straight up and down. Keep scooping out the belly and looking forward towards the fingertips, and then draw the left knee straight in. Scoop out the belly, land your left foot forward and through. Turn the back foot on a strong angle. Here we go, warrior two on the left side. Iron out the feet. Sometimes you come into the pose and your feet are all over the place. Wrap the inner left thigh open, broaden the chest and the collarbone. There's no twist in the chest. Close your eyes, be here, a few breaths. Drop down a little deeper, wrap the inner left thigh open, stay with it. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior, but keep the strong structure of that front left thigh so nothing turns in. Come back to warrior two, set it up for extended side angle A. Maybe the arm's just resting on thigh this morning. Maybe you're reaching down and immediately setting it up with a block outside of left foot. Right arm can wrap up and forward, depending on you. You want to keep your airway flowing. So if you feel like you're struggling, back out, soften the left shoulder. Wrap the inner left thigh open. Yeah. And press strong through the blade of your right foot so you can energize. Energize from the blade through the fingertips. Settle in. Grip the outer left hip underneath you and keep turning those bottom ribs. Gets a little sticky sometimes. Stay with it, last couple. Right arm extends up, hand slides to hip. Look down and keeping your left foot and your hip gripping in, slide it forward and transition smooth, Ardha. So as you come up smooth into Ardha Navasana, come up nice and slow here and slide your right arm up towards the sky once you find your balance. Flex the right foot, soften behind the left knee, and then find your posture. Your posture, not mine, not the other people in the Zoom boxes, yours. Back out, add in what you need. Maybe it's the bind. Two more. Eyes go to the floor, right hand comes down. So square it off first and then step your right foot, cross the right ankle in front of the left. Baby toes touch, heels split apart. Block is great because it's going to lift you. Come to the fingertips and then fold. Definitely bend behind the knees, fold. Going straight down the center works great, but if you're looking for a little bit more, over to the right today is going to give you a little bit more stretch along the left side body. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. And just keep the bend behind the knees. Let the head go. Yeah, two more breaths. Stay with it. Come back to center if you're not already there. First, draw extension, long spine, and then just unravel your feet. Set it up there, and then sit into chair. Sit chair pose. Weight goes heavy in your heels. Arms go up. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow and twist towards the left. So the right elbow hooks, and you get in there. Good. And just check in with the alignment, because I'd rather you be less in the pose but better aligned than be so deep in and it'd be a crummy situation. Open up your arms, keep your breath flowing. Stay with it. This is where we want to give up. Look sideways, look up. Try not to look back because that just rounds us. Two more. Chair pose, pull it around. Heavy in your heels, chair pose. Shoot up to stand up at the top of your mat and just drop your arms, stand tall for a second. All right, here we go. Stand on your right leg and step your left leg back about 3 feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Have your blocks at the top. It's definitely helpful. Right hand on hip, left arm extends up big. Come halfway down. Before you just plop into it, steer your right hip back. Yeah, give it a little action and then reach for your block if you're using it. Right hand slides to the flat part of your back and you peel into a twisting triangle. Some days just keeping your right hand secure in the sacrum is enough. Other days you have access of lifting your right shoulder and your right arm up towards the sky. So you pick what feels best in your body. Another one of those poses where we don't want to look back, we want to look sideways or up just to keep our spine super long. Anchor through your feet and your legs, feel your outer hips grip, and look towards the ceiling. Twist open. Stay with it. So keep it the shape of the legs, guys. Yeah, and then just look down. Place both hands on the floor or on blocks. If you just have one block, place it in the center. If you have two, set it up underneath your shoulders. bend a little into the standing right leg, and start to slowly lift your left leg up to an amended warrior 3. For some reason, you don't have blocks and you want to do this without blocks. God bless you. Go for it. You definitely have to create a heavy bend in that standing right leg in order to find this. And I recommend having the blocks a little out so they're underneath your shoulders this morning. Grip the right hip in strong. Just pause here in amended warrior 3. Yeah. Don't open the hip at all. We've been practicing this the whole practice. Left hand's going to stay down. Right hand's going to come to the flat part of the back. Essentially the same pose we just did, just now with the leg lifted in the air. If it's not for you, keep both hands down and stay in amended warrior 3. It's not a long hold. Lift from your inner left thigh, twist sideways, look sideways and look up. Yeah. Flex the foot. It definitely helps. Grip the right hip in super strong. Stay with it. Eyes meet the floor. Left leg lands hips width distance. When the foot reaches the front of the mat, hook the big toes immediately. Lengthen a long spine, open out your elbows and fold over the legs. Yeah. So let your head go and just drop down. Good work. Long spine on the inhale, hands come to your hips, hug the elbows in and come up standing. One more time. On the left leg, the right leg drifts back about 3 feet. Left hand stays on hip, right arm extends up, find some extension. Come halfway down before you just blitz it, steer the left hip back and then find your way into a safe twisting triangle. Slide the left hand to the flat part of the back. Good, look sideways, look up. And then you make this work for you this morning. Crown of the head is moving forward. I always think someone's got me like by one of those TheraBand stretchy bands and they're pulling my hips towards the back edge of the mat. I probably could use someone pulling my hips to the back edge of the mat. Breathe. One more big breath. Stay with it. Look to the floor. Both hands come down, but they're going to come to blocks, one or both, or to fingertips. Move the blocks out enough so that they're underneath the shoulders, and then let your right leg float up off the ground. Just be here, amended warrior 3. You could use furniture. Yeah, you can rest your hands against the wall. Anything works. The lift from the inner right thigh, the belly drawing in. Definitely a pretty heavy bend in that standing left leg. And then you peel into your revolved Ardha. It's like a seamless transition here. Good. Lift from your inner thigh, look sideways. Sometimes it's helpful to point the toe because you can get a little bit more lift. Yeah. Look sideways, look up. Make it happen right here. Eyes to the floor, both hands down. Take the feet to the top of the mat, but take them to the width of the mat. Turn the toes out and come down into squat. Yeah, lengthen the tailbone and squat. For some reason, you're dying to go up into an arm balance and you want to go into crow here and work on playing. This is the time to do it. You kind of creep your feet together. If not, just enjoy the length of the tailbone, the lengthening of the tailbone, the opening of the chest and the hips. Make sure you're not dumping all the weight into the arches of your feet. Use the back of the triceps to really access those inner thighs open. Good. Hands placed to the floor. Straighten the legs. Walk the feet so they're about hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine, and then just drift your left leg back into a lunge. Walk the right foot a little out and over if you feel like it's not quite right. And then rise to your high lunge. Ooh, it's tricky. Yes, high lunge, crescent lunge. Sometimes just stepping back into things changes things up. Hands drift to prayer at heart, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. If you need to drop your knee, go ahead and do that. If you're feeling solid and you want to keep that back leg engaged, really engage it. You want to lean back a little into the pose, crown of the head lines up with that back heel, and then twist open. Definitely one of those souped up poses. You got to get in there. Yep. Anything goes with the arms that feels nice for you. I like that, Jody. Eyes go to the floor, both hands come down. Let's do this. Plant the palms, hug your right knee towards your navel. So you're in a plank and your right knee's hugging in. Yep. Right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. And this time, because we've done it so many times, you can open your right hip a little and just a little bit fan the right thigh open. Yes. As you do it though, you don't want to dump everything over to one side. Stay neutral. Square it off, come forward and sweep your right knee forward and through for a half pigeon. Yeah, come into half pigeon here. Set it up for success. Yeah. Plant the palms, curl the back toes, lift up, down dog. Roll forward plank, halfway to a push-up, upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. So from the back of the mat, guys, just glide your left foot forward and through. Crescent lunge. Left side. Hands drag to prayer. Inhale that breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Know the option of dropping the knee or hand coming to the instep of the foot for the easy twist. Any of these are great. Back leg stays super charged up. Get in there. Yeah, so the crown of your head's gonna line up with your back heel. Any variation with your arms that kind of feels good at this point in the practice is exactly where you need to be, right? Stay with it. Grip your left hip a little bit more, everyone. Activate your back leg a little more and twist. One final rinse. Eyes meet the floor, hands come down. Firm up your hands nice and strong and your arms, and then hug your left knee in towards the navel from the ground up. Extend your left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. And if it feels good to you this time, bend your knee and open your hip a little. Keep hugging everything in though. Come forward, look forward with your eyes, sweep your left knee forward and through, half pigeon. Yeah, and then melt. Right thigh drops. Come up nice and slow. Lean onto your left side and swing your right leg forward. So as you swing your right leg forward, I'll face you because it's easier. Your left leg kind of bends in towards you and your right foot just goes in front of your left shin. So you're just sitting like this, okay? Go ahead and grab the base of your right foot and start to kick your right leg forward and through. Now, the right leg may have a really big bend. You may need to use a strap so you don't dump into your lower back, or final option, you may just be grabbing behind the thigh and just working here. What's important is that your left leg isn't lifting up off the ground. You don't feel like you're rounding and slumping. So you have to find something that you know you can maintain a really nice, strong alignment. Sitting up tall. See how the spine stays nice and strong and straight. Good. Then you're going to take your left hand to the outside of your right foot or the outside of your right leg, anywhere along the leg that you can hold it up. Right hand behind you, and you're going to twist open. Yes. If you feel really solid in your twist, like you don't need your right hand, peel your right arm open and back and look sideways and hold here. But it's really important you don't dump into your low back. Breathe. Pull around to center, lower the right foot down. Just switch the legs for me. So the right leg bends in, the left leg bends up. So you're creating this little, like, little seated position. Get yourself situated, grab the base of your foot along the leg with a strap, anything goes, and start to straighten out the left leg. So this leg does not straighten as pretty for me, but I'm just gonna work on letting my shoulders draw down my back, really engaging my core to protect me. And I'm going to get over the fact that it's not going to be a perfect pose. Okay. Create this first and then grab anywhere along your leg. You can even do this with a bent knee if you need to, but ideally outside of foot as you straighten. Start with the hand behind you so you can get that lift. And then maybe the fingertips creep behind you and then you can lift the arm back and twist. But you want to stay lifted out of that lower back and breathing into that IT bend. Fingertips can be tented too, guys, on the floor. Pull around to center, eyes go forward, lower the leg down. Good. Take both feet flat to the floor, move your blocks with you, lower yourself down, set up for bridge. I go with bridge with a block. Yeah, so anywhere, any angle underneath the sacrum that works for you this morning, or robe out the arms. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Set up a nice bridge pose. Yeah. Feet are forward. Yeah, and then decide what you need. Some of us are all about like full wheel. Most of us have let that kind of come and go. So if you feel like you want to go full wheel, you'll flip your palms and you'll bring it up. If you're more restorative, you want your legs straight up, Reg, straight up towards the sky, like 90-degree angle. Yeah, because that's going to get the flush of the lactic acid. And I can't really tell with the block, but the block settled any height underneath your sacrum, you're good. Perfect. And then if you can, you clasp your hands around that block. And that's the back bend. And then maybe even letting your eyes just kind of close. So as the legs stay up longer, it gets more challenging, not just physically, but mentally. So we're going to keep it up there for another about 45 to 60 seconds. Stay with it. As the thoughts come, push them out. If the hands are bound around the block, let that go first. Get the palms flat to the ground. Next, bend your knees in half. Start to slowly bring the feet down to the floor. Once the feet establish that grounded, okay, they're on the ground, then lift the hips, remove the block. Let the tailbone drop down slow, and the knees, the feet can go wide and the knees can knock in. Yep. And then reach for the outer blades of your feet, and in one even pull, happy baby. Yeah, lower back spreads, upper shoulder blades spread. If you can't grab the base of your feet, know you can always grab the back inside of your thighs and just pull down. And then squeeze your knees in. Give your knees a solid squeeze, like wrap in. And then a sharp exhale breath, find your way to Shavasana. So I know most of us are pretty busy, but take the next 2 minutes and just rest, because this is where your nervous system kind of shuts down and restores. Complete rest. Take a deep breath in. Follow it up with a full deep exhale breath out. Arms bring up I'll go up over the top of the head, and give yourself a really nice solid stretch from fingertips to toes. Hug the knees in. One last squeeze here. And rock up however you feel you can find comfort. Sit up nice and tall and just feel the effects of this morning's practice. Just sit up in this newfound body of ours. Good work, everyone. Let the shoulders draw down the back. Let the hands come to a prayer at heart. Bow your head for a moment. Be grateful always. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Awesome practice, my friends. See you next time. Yeah, so I'll be Zooming same code tomorrow, same time, if you're not into the in-person stuff. See you soon.